Hey guys, it's Turok. Happy New Year. Oh, let's get this ready. Happy New Year to everyone. Hold on. Trying to get my tablet ready for this review of One Piece chapter. What are we at now? I don't remember. What are we at? 1072 now. But I think it's been 3 weeks now since the last chapter, and boy, I'm excited. Fortunately, I've kept myself busy by watching quite a bit of stuff in the meantime. I guess I should have been doing more reading. Although I've been also trying to, keep myself busy with preparing to do a video about One Punch Man, and but also I've been catching up on. I was watching a lot of old Scooby-Doo stuff, the movies, not old. A lot of ones, these direct-to-video ones that came out in the last 10 years, like this one with WrestleMania, and this one where they went back in time to Camelot, and one where they went to being chased by a dinosaur. They were all really good movies. I'm getting way off topic. And I watched Wednesday, and then we watched the Wednesday movies. All right, off topic. Anyways, One Piece is back, and this is a really good chapter. We get some new, all kinds of new stuff, I guess. I gotta go through it again myself, actually, and anyways, the last chapter, we saw that Kuma went to, is this the right one? Yeah. Kuma ended up at that little town below the red line, and the people started evacuating, and then at the same time the Vegapunk and all his clones are preparing to leave with the Straw Hats. York, I gotta make sure I get all their names now. York, Lilith, Pythagoras, Edison, Stalka, that one? What's that one name? The one that number one. I like that one. I forget that one's name. Hey, the one whose face we haven't really seen. He's wearing like a helmet all the time. And while that was happening, while they were preparing to leave, the CP9 or CP0 now they are Stussy, Rob Lucci, and Kaku are trying to figure out how to get up to the Labostratum because they figured out that the defense up there is too much we'll just send you come up there because Kaku went up there with their Geppo and oh man, I'm trying to keep that set there like that. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to just have a clear background. That's just my tea kettle back there. Used Geppo to get up there, and he got shot down a few chapters ago. And actually, we find out that Stussy knows something about this. In this chapter, we find out why. More or less, we get the ending of the chapter. Spoilers. I'm going to find out about Stussy a bit here and what's going on with her. So I'm curious, because we're going to find out something interesting about her. Why was she even allowed to join this CP0 in the first place? It seems like it should have been known that she could compromise the mission in the way that she's essentially going to do here. And then what else? And on Bonney, the main thing is Bonnie's coming after Vegapunk still to find out why he did what he did to Kuma, and she wants to force him to give back his conscience and his memories. And he says he can't, and he doesn't explain why. And we're gonna get a little more of that today too. And let's see, the other part there's and so the main thing that happens too is someone lets down the defenses at the end next chapter. Was it the last chapter? And then we suspect it was that other person that Vegapunk asked to help them, who we don't know who this person is yet. And even in this chapter, if I recall correctly, when I went through it, I didn't hint at who it is yet. We still don't know who that is, and excuse me, I thought I was gonna burp there. Kaku almost tries to. The funniest part of that chapter is Kaku almost tries to take out the Sunny, and Zoro's sleeping on the deck. And we get a little brief rematch between them here, and it continues into this chapter too. And I think that's them. And then the other thing and then briefly at Elbath, we find out that Kid ends up at Elbath, but that doesn't carry on here. And also that Garp is going to go to. Hey. Garp's going to be going to try and rescue Kobe. But this chapter focuses this time. That stuff's for another day. And I meant to do other videos going on about that stuff, and I just I thought I'd get that, and I just put it in the back burner while I've been trying to making other videos and watching other content. Well, there. So, anyways, let's get on to this chapter. So, oh, is that what that is? So the beginning is something. This beginning, I think, is actually a flashback because it's gonna relate to, I think, Stussy at the end. Come here, cutie. Here's my cutie. She's trying to get me to pay attention to her instead. This is gonna be one of those videos. I made a mess there. In the beginning here, there's a little text bar, and I think this is supposed to be Vegapunk talking, and it reads, "Even if the world does not accept how she came to be, this girl is unmistakably human, and this was a success. I bear witness to this achievement, and I maintain this is a huge step towards peace. Hang on to this. This is important toward the end." Now, we jump back to the beginning here, and Bonney, after unsuccessfully trying to chase down Vegapunk. Sorry if I keep stuttering. I'm trying to keep these names in check. She plays Possum here. She's playing the damsel here, and pretend she's hurt herself. Also, by the way, she had a pipe. I don't think I said this correctly in the last thing. She grabbed just a pipe from somewhere to use as a weapon this time to try to take out Vegapunk. And now she pretends she's hurting her. She hurt herself, and she's crying on the ground. Was she in her little girl form? And she looked like I thought at first this was part of the flashback, actually. I made a mistake with that. And she does this to trick Vegapunk. She tricks Vegapunk into thinking she's actually hurt here. And he runs over to check in on her. It's obvious, too, that he really does care about her. And though she's using this because she's still so pissed at him. And like he must see her as kind of like a granddaughter or something, or niece, because he's close with Kuma. So he runs up to her and tries to call his medics to help, and you can tell she's faking it because she has an evil glint in her eye here as he gets closer, and she changes into her looks like she changes into like almost a giant form. I think that's what's going on here. It looks like Bonney has her ability can kind of transform in ways that's kind of similar to using her age powers. She can almost do stuff similar to Luffy with her transforming a little bit. If I keep looking this way, I don't know why I'm doing that. I gotta remember to look toward the actual point of the camera. I'm working on this still. So she comes after him. She's coming after him with her pipes, and she's just destroying everything in her path, trying to hit Vegapunk, and he's doing quite well in dodging her. Although at one point when she ends up hitting him here, and she turns him into a little kid form. Wait, did she use it with her? Did she use her when she actually wait, how does she do that? Timely thrust. Okay, so when she it looks like she had to physically attack him and make contact with him in order to make this attack work and have him transform into a little kid in order to stop him from escaping. Hold on a sec. As I was reading this before, now I'm thinking, why can't she just use her area effect version of her powers like she's done before with like those Marines back on Sabaody to stop Vegapunk? I'm not sure what's going on there, but how she couldn't, but she had to make physical contact, it appears, this time to do this. And let's see. So this part here, I'm trying, why does he got all those little things around him? Alright, I know I'm missing some stuff here, but anyways, let me move on. We find something interesting here about her powers, though, in that she cannot keep someone transformed, older or younger, forever. It has a temporary effect, a time limit, and so now she's finally caught up to Vegapunk, and she grabs him by his coat, and they go, "You had a reason for doing this to my father. Now start telling me what it is." And as he starts talking, as he starts telling her, trying to like, talk her down and explain like he can't still, we switch over to Kuma, and he's starting to climb the red wall. So I'm wondering, actually, so this reminds me of Fisher Tiger, who climbed the red wall. Was that over a decade ago? I'm sure it was. I wonder how many years ago that was now that he went up there. Way over that, actually. It had to be. When he rescued Boa Hancock and her sisters. I wonder if this is actually the same spot that that Fisher Tiger climbed the red wall to get to Marijois when he did this a couple decades ago. So as he's doing this, the townspeople are watching from below there. While this is happening, Vegapunk is telling Bonney, if I divulge why I did it, it would only hurt you more, and that's why that's why I can't do it. And I promised Kuma I wouldn't, and I would keep he said, I promised Kuma I would keep his secret from you. So something's up that Kuma wanted to hide. I'm trying to figure out, oh, wait, no, that must be, I'm guessing this has to do with, you know what, I should take my glasses off because you can't see my eyes, can you? Unless I have to look at my my screen. I'm guessing this has to do with the, how is it? I'm trying. I can remember that. I'm just having a problem getting the words out. Bear with me, please. Bonney mentioned a few chapters ago about Kuma, her father, mentioning to her how they were of a special race. I'm guessing I wonder if that's something to do with the secret that he wanted to hide from her. But not sure on that yet. But obviously we don't know. Anyways, we'll see later, hopefully. So anyways, she's like, you can't tell me why you had to kill my dad? Just tell me. Stop screwing around. And he's like, I didn't do this because I forced him to. Vegapunk tells her he made this decision, and then Bonnie's like, no, he would never do this. He's you're lying. You must have forced him or something. She's basically saying, and he wouldn't abandon me. And then she tries threatening him, like, I'll kill you. And he's like, no, you believe me. I didn't mean to do that. I gotta slow down. Believe me, I didn't want to do it. It's been hard for me to live with what I did to him, and I wish I could forget the whole ordeal. And he goes on like, he's a great guy, or incredible guy, and I'm proud to call him a friend, always have been, but I can't say anything more about this. And then while that's happening too, it shows we continue seeing Kuma climb the red wall, and now the Marines are using like rocket launchers and other weapons to try and shoot him down. But I can't tell if they don't show if that's having any effect. And while that's happening, and then Bonney says, just spit it out. I'm not taking these excuses anymore. I can't stand these half-assed stuff. And she throws him to the down, and Vegapunk's like, oh, let's stop it. This is like child abuse. Okay, whatever. And when she does it, this thing starts beeping nearby, and so Bonney goes up to this room nearby, and Vegapunk does not want her to go near this. And we see this room with a paw print on it, and oh, how does she do that? Oh, that's cool. So she tries to open it, and I didn't realize. Did she use this power before? She tries to open it, but it has a lock on it, and she touches it and uses her power to age the lock so that it can open. It will break apart on her. I think it reads here, oil breakdown, and as she goes in there, Vegapunk's still trying to stop her from doing this. And when we go in there, we see one of Kuma's pawpaw fruit bubbles, much like the ones we saw him use before at Thriller Bark against the Straw Hats. Particularly, I think, like, I don't know how many times, I can't remember, like, the time I remember specifically is when he used it against Zoro. And he took the pain out of Luffy and used it on Zoro and said, if you can handle this, I'll leave. And I know he used it too on Oars the Third, if I recall correctly, at Marineford. So this thing is sitting in there on a platform. This and then, like, something above it too is like holding it there, suspended, I guess, because I don't think that thing could just sit there on its own. It probably would have maybe it would have popped or something, like an actual balloon. And while she's staring, Bonnie's just staring at this in awe, and Vegapunk comes up behind her, staring at it, and staring at her, and this triggers a flashback now between him and Kuma. And we see that Kuma, I'm a little confused by some of the dynamics of this part, because Kuma's like sitting here almost looking like a patient, but it also looks, this conversation looks like Vegapunk it has Vegapunk asking Kuma to help him solve a theory he has about when we actually exist in real life, and this one has to do. So this theory was this is around the let me try and collect my thoughts again. This I'm sure if many of you have heard, we slow down. So the soul. This centers around the soul, and whether or not we have one, and how we could scientifically measure it. So in this flashback, Vegapunk is talking with Kuma about it. And in here, he says a scientist in the West Blue postulated that a person loses 21 grams of mass upon death. Now, I'm trying to remember if that's the right number. I remember reading this in one of Dan Brown's novels. And that's considered to be the weight of the soul. Actually, I'm gonna pause a second and look this up quickly. There is actually a doctor named a physician named Duggan McDougall. Is that how you say it? In 1901, who wanted to determine the soul had weight. So that's the basis of this the one that Oda is using here in the story, and he's has a fictional scientist in this story who's from the West Blue, and this guy was actually from I think Massachusetts. Yeah. Anyway, so he's telling in this flashback. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. In this flashback, he is telling Kuma about this experiment. So he's basically trying to understand. Actually, this is a thing he should really be talking about Brooke with. But so he's trying to. I really have to read this again, actually. Hold on. So, actually, the experiment. Oops, this thing is not staying today. So in this case, he doesn't plan on having Kuma do this with the soul, because I guess that wouldn't be possible with his fruit powers. But he wants, since Kuma is able to do this and take pain that's intangible and put it into physical form, he wants to try to have Kuma do this with memories and see if they have mass or volume. And then he asks, so Kuma figures out, oh, so you want me to take my own memories and do this as well? But Kuma's like, no, those are my memories. I think that's too personal that you look at my stuff and can have them. And Vegapunk is like begging him, please do this for science. I won't let anyone else see them. By the way, too, this flashback can't have been too long ago. Vegapunk here is looks the same age as he is now, more or less. So this happened, I don't know, within the last 5 years maybe. And that's the end of the flashback. Oh yeah, by the way, but yeah, when he's doing this, Kuma, like I said, is dressed in some kind of scrubs. It looks like, though, and it looks like he's all bandaged up too, perhaps. And wait, is he sitting? It looks kind of like he's sitting next to an MRI machine. And Vegapunk's there with a whiteboard, writing out formulas and stuff while he's telling Kuma all this stuff. What am I looking at? And also Kuma here. Yeah, Kuma always wearing glasses? He's wearing glasses in this one. So anyways, that's the end of the flashback. And so Bonnie's really close to it, and Vegapunk yells at her not to touch it, and he said, like, you understand what your father's powers is. You must understand that there's nothing in there but pain. It's more than enough to kill someone. And she says to him, she replies, no. And I believe that's where this ends with her. No, it does something else. She says no, and while that's happening, we see the Marines finally shoot down Kuma from the red wall. And she says, no, I know my... Oh, that's what she says, no. No, I know my father's ability all too well. Oh, wait a minute, okay. And then she says, his memories are here, aren't they? Oh, okay. Okay. This is making more sense. Now I'm rereading this. So Kuma, he probably hasn't been really turned into a machine, has he? Maybe he's just more of like a cyborg, and he seems like a machine because his memories are there. He's been removed of his mind and his memories, and they could be put back. That's very interesting. I bet that's what it is. I bet Kuma could be returned to normal, but the question is, why did he want Vegapunk to hold us? Why did he want this to do this to himself? What is he hiding from her? Of course, again, like we went over this before. And as she's doing this, yeah, she's about to put her hand. Bonnie's about to put her hand on the bubble. And also simultaneously, while this is still happening, Kuma has fallen down, and the Marines start rushing him. And my phone. Pardon me, one sec. And here, it looks like though, and sorry, I was trying to. Someone was here with my father-in-law, a therapist helping him exercise. She was just heading out. So Kuma continues fighting the Marines. He looks like he's using his paw fruit too. Oh no, is he using his paw fruits to like bounce? I don't know. He's doing something to fight back with them there. And this is where we end seeing the parts with Bonnie, Kuma, and Vegapunk for this chapter. So now we switch over to the egghead Labostratum, and now we start with the Straw Hat and Stalka, and we got I can't get their names out. Usopp, God, I'm having such a hard time getting their names out. Nami and Sanji, viewing the situation where that Lucci and the others have got to the top, and then Stalker's like, I don't know how they did it. My apologies. Something malfunctioned, and the others, Usopp and the other, or Sanji, are like, the good thing we left Brook and Zoro on there. They should be okay then. But Stalker's like, no, we gotta. I gotta slow down. Stalker's like, this is still not gonna be good for them, because now the Seraphim are coming up there with them, and are gonna, make the battle more lopsided. Hold on a sec. So sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to start saying it. The Seraphim, we find here the Seraphim can make some decision making of their own, and they decide to follow the CP0 up there, and then they can't go back down now because the defense system's back up. But this according to Stuck, was that one of the oh no, it's Edison, I think. This is probably a good thing, because now if they get within range of the Seraphim, they can order them to stand back down, because they're higher up in the command hierarchy. And so Edison and Lilith decide to go outside the safety of where they are now to order them to do so. And freaking Sanji of all people, he's like over here like, oh no, poor Zoro's about to get killed right when we're getting near the end, and Nami has to order him like, get out there and help. This is all, we're a part of this. This affects all of us. And he's Sanji being Sanji. He's like, okay, Nami, I'll help you. But why do I gotta save Zoro? And Frankie's like, don't screw around, let's go. Also, when Stalker's like, good, I'll leave this to you guys. Lilith, of course, is all pissy that Stalker's basically ordering her around. She does not like that Stalker orders her around at all. Who is that? Come on. Come here. Anyways, so now we switch to we switched to Brook and Zoro. I didn't even think Brook was on the deck of the ship in the last chapter. It just looked like Zoro was there alone. But either way, maybe Brook was just down below, getting more tea or something. So now Brook's up here again, Brooke is up top here, and he and they see Kaku. So Kaku now is transformed, and we just see it doesn't give him like a title card or anything, but he's clearly awakened his giraffe form, because his colors here look, I think, a lot darker, and he's got that flame stuff around him again. Actually, I have something. What was that? Tekking had a video he released this past week of talking about awakenings, and he was talking about whether whether or not the flame thing is like indicative of all awakenings, and it does seem to be something that Oda is doing as part of most awakenings that we've seen with Luffy, now Zoro, not Zoro, Lucci and Kaku. And so Brooke and Zoro are together, and they're looking at Kaku. We don't see Kaku just yet at this point, and Brooke's like, what is that supposed to be? And Zoro explains, well, I think he's supposed to be a giraffe, but now he looks a lot different. Not that it matters, I'll still slice and dice him. And then that's where we first see Kaku, and you can see the flame bits around him a little bit in his face. And then he's all like cocky himself, like, that's if you can cut me, Roronoa. And so Zoro's getting ready to go face him, and he tells Brooke to stay here on the ship and look after it. And him and I think his name's Kaku start clashing. And we see Kaku looks like he can extend his neck quite a bit farther this time. He almost looks like a snake at that point. And he does after him with a number of his attacks. I don't know if these are the same ones from before. He's got like one called Nose Gun, and then Draftman Gyro. And I don't think, at first I thought these were working on Zoro, but it looks like I don't think Kaku stands any more of a chance against Zoro than Lucci does against Luffy. And Zoro's like, I had my fill of fighting critters after being in Wano. And he launches some attack on Kaku and smacks him right down to the ground. And while that's happening, Lucci starts ordering the Seraphim to start destroying the Labostratum, and he even says, like, before Vegapunk gets here, get out there and obey us. And so while that's happening, we switch back to Luffy, the inside of the lab where Nami, Usopp, and Stalga still are, and they're the two start freaking out, of course, because they're gonna get destroyed. Shoot, sorry. I'm just trying to keep up, slow down, reread this. I can't memorize this as well as someone like Tekking does. Bear with, please. And boy, do they. The other three, the three of them, looks like the three of them except for Mihawk are basically all using their lasers. But it also looks like Mihawk is using his sword, because you can see the top of the lab and other pieces nearby are getting all sliced up, and everything. And while that's happening, we see the inside of the Usopp, Nami, and Stalker are trying to avoid the blast and stuff from the inside. And while this happens, we go back outside, and we see Kaku surveying what the Seraphim are doing, and he's like, wow, these guys are great. They know how they're doing their job for us, making this so simple. And now we get to the interesting bit of the end. We see, is that how they show that? We see Stussy bite Kaku in the neck, and she knocks him out. He passes out here. And Lucci's like, what are you doing? And she's sprouting bat wings, almost like she's a vampire, I guess. And yes, she's even got some of Kaku's blood on her lip. And she says, Oh, me? Little me? Little old me? I can't say that right. I'm just putting him to sleep. And I need you to join him now, Lucci. It's time for you to take your cat nap. And now we get a title card. Clone of Miss Buckingham. Clone of Miss Buckingham. So who is that then? I gotta look that up. Stussy of the Rock Pirates. Rocks Pirates. Oh, fuck, I didn't even... Matt's first successful clone. Unit 1, Stussy. And that's the end. Holy fuck, I didn't read that part right. Stussy of the Rocks Pirates. Hold on a freaking second. Alright, there's no other information really out there. Okay, I was trying to look up. So, I'm trying to think. Clone of Miss Buckingham. That's what I was trying to look up. Right, Miss Buckingham. So now I don't think that's a character that's been mentioned before in One Piece. So now I think undoubtedly we're getting a... I'm just getting all kinds of spoilers. Yeah, so now... Holy shit, why didn't I see that part when I read this earlier? I gotta reread these multiple times better next time. Oh my god. So this is linking back to the beginning. So that beginning of the chapter must have been a flashback of some point in the past, I'm guessing, that Vegapunk cloned someone named Miss Buckingham from the Rocks Pirates, and successfully, and he made this little monologue. Even if the world doesn't accept it, she's undoubtedly a human, or unmistakably. And this is a huge step toward world peace. I don't know why. Yeah, Vegapunk is obsessed with the world peace stuff. Like, he thinks if everyone could access his knowledge. And he had another thing about everyone, if energy. Yeah, if everyone had access to, like, unlimited resources and stuff, like that people wouldn't be fighting. I like his sentiments, but I think it would just cause people to fight over the means of those kind of stuff. So if people, like, I think people access his knowledge, for example, at some point I think other people would try to cut others off from said knowledge, from his brain, and maybe would try to monopolize the unlimited resources so that others couldn't use it or learn to use it. So people still being people, basically being in the One Piece world, being one-to-one in their motivations and their biases and their jealousy and that kind of stuff, would still not behave outside of what Vegapunk, how do I say it? That Vegapunk wanting them to act beyond that is next to impossible. So anyways, he made a clone. We know he did these clone things. We learned this back with, first with Judge, and how he had that clone army. And that's what, but why Big Mom wanted to involve him and get married with, by using Sanji, having Pudding marry Sanji, and she was going to kill off the Judge and the what's their family called again? Vinsmoke. The Vinsmoke family. She wanted to have the monopoly on his version, Judge's version of creating clones, and have that force to add to her own repertoire of an unlimited army of sorts to take over the world. Like, she already, Big Mom obviously already had sufficient power with her soul to create a sizable army, but with Judge's science on her side, could do even more. So now, it looks like what this is implying, though, is that they could not fully clone a actual person before. Like, we've been talking about cloning Devil Fruits, though, since Punk Hazard. But now we got cloning in tangent with, since we got cloning that Judge did, and now we learned about cloning of the Seraphims here, and how they're using Lunarian DNA, probably kings only kings, and then he's using using the warlords, and I don't know if there's really one-to-one. We saw that Boaz is kind of like a little kid, like with human emotions. She had that little tsundere kind of moment when someone thanked her, when Jinbei thanked her in the last chapter. But now this really seems to be implying the idea that the Vegapunk has figured out a way to also take someone and make an exact version of them. Now, does that mean they have the same memories and stuff is also important, just like with the Seraphim? Wow, this is good. And also, why is this power she has of this Miss Buckingham, or is it of a devil fruit ability? Is she a zone of some sort, a vampire bat probably, or sort, or is Stussy given that thing like the Seraphim are, or have been given it fruit powers? It doesn't show anything on her arm like the Seraphim have, so I'm guessing not. Wait, how did he do that again? That wasn't with Zone, right? Oh, I gotta look back at that. Also important now is the fact that Stussy definitely, I'm thinking it's definitely, is not on the, this is what I was trying to say in the beginning of this video, not on CP0's side. She I'm thinking, hopefully helping Vegapunk here, unless she has her own motivation. So, well, that's yet to be seen here. So I'm just very concerned too why she was brought on the team of CP0 without some more thorough background check, because now she just took out Kaku like nothing here. And it looks like Lucci's about to be taken out by her. He's not even going to get another rematch, a round 2 here with Luffy. He's probably going to be taken out by her. She seems confident that she can, so she has probably some other speed or something that she's going to... I wonder if we'll get to see that fight here in the next chapter. I don't think there's a break next week either. Mysterious smirk. So what a chapter. And Jesus, we still don't even know what Kizaru's still not even here. So we still got like action going on here at friggin' Egghead Island without... My God. Also, now what is going on with this thing going on with Bonney and talking about her father's powers? She says she knows her father's ability all too well, which implies that his father's ability is not really just about creating the pain. I'm gonna have to look into that. There's something gotta rewatch I wanna go back and watch Thriller Bark now and see what Kuma did there. I know he took Luffy's pain out of his body and then transmitted it, sent it in that bubble to Zoro, and then he also he did the thing where he just hit someone. He did it to what's her name? With the P, the ghost girl, and I can't think of her name now, it's escaped me. Then he did it to the Straw Hats later. Oh, so anyways, that's where I'm gonna end it now.